Alright, YouTubulous. We got Cole in the house. Cole said he's the fab man around here. Every once in a while. Working on a DA.
Big fab head.
Big fab head. We got a 99 or 2000, can't remember, EK hatch in the house, all stock. What year is she? 99. Funny story behind this car. My brother owned this car, and then I owned the car. It's kind of stayed around for the last 8 years, I think. 7 or 8 years. And the guy that had it for a while sold it, and a buddy of mine bought it, and we're going to be putting a K in it. It's thick. She's in rough shape as far as body. Quarters are a little meh. He's got a whole front end for it. He's going to get a door. He's going to get this damage on the quarter panel fixed. But basically, she's a virgin. She runs like a top. Had AC when we had it, but the pulley seized up on the compressor. So, but other than that, she's pretty stock. I'm going to go ahead and snatch this motor out and get it stripped down for Turk as much as I can. He's going to start going in here, fine tooth and comb, and start stripping the bay, getting it ready for paint. He's going to paint it himself. Not going to reveal the color, but I will give a hint. It's an EK hatch. And it's getting a K swap, so put 2 and 2 together. And yeah, going to get this swap snatched out in the morning. This is Monday. Get it pulled out in the morning, and then I'll do a little time lapse, just real quick. But I mean, yeah, she's a little Jimmy. He's got the door panel, but the regulator's messed up. Yeah, she's pretty much all stock. Gonna get this swap out, do this car justice, gonna save it. It's gonna come out real good. I hope he keeps this project because he's not known for keeping them. But next thing you'll see is a time lapse. Alright, so I had to pause from pulling the swap for a second because I need to get the battery tray out to get the engine harness out. Obviously, you know, EKs, the harness goes underneath the battery tray, goes through the firewall, and hooks up to the ECU. And I need to pull all that out. So, if you guys know, it gets nice and rusty in there. Those heads on those bolts usually rust off, so they're pretty bad. I'm gonna see if I can beat a smaller socket on it. It's usually a 12, put a 6-point on it, and it's not having it. This is just part of the problems people have with swaps. Obviously, these things rust because of the battery, the acid, the water that sits there. So yeah, let's see if we can get those two out without destroying this bay. Alright, so we were successful in getting them out. Used a 12.11 millimeter, tapped it on there. You see the bolt itself is still okay. It's just the head of it gets rusted. Got the tray out. Now we can get the harness and finish her up. Alright, YouTube, swaps out, did some stripping of the bay, got all the AC stuff out for the most part. I got to run to my house real quick. I got to take the dryer and the lines out. We're going to be retaining AC with the K-swap. So certain lines we're going to use. I know you have to change lines over here. We got the hybrid racing kit. Got to move some stuff around, but regardless, the bay is pretty much stripped. He's going to start taking the rest of the final brackets, the wiring, all the other stuff. We're going to do the harness tuck through the frame rail. That takes a little bit of time. It's meticulous. Honda Street Garage did a video on it probably years ago now. You can depin these connectors here, and you can run them through a hole over here and basically run them so it's cleaner in the engine bay. So we're going to do that on both sides. Just going to do this thing really nice. He's going to do a rear disc conversion, so we have to get the proper proportioning valve. But everything's going to be nice and clean in here. We're going to clean everything up. He's going to paint the bay. He's going to do this thing really nice. So bay's pretty much stripped. Swaps out. I basically left everything connected to it, because the person that's getting the swap is going to need everything. I left the mounts, the clutch line, obviously the harness, the throttle cable, a bunch of, just basically a full drop in. Here's all the other components, the axles, some of the stuff that we're not using we're going to let him have, such as radiator. We're going to keep the condenser because we need that, but most of the mounts and everything, he's going to get that. So swaps out. Like I said, took a little bit longer than I wanted to. I don't know if the time lapse caught it, but I thought this thing was empty on AC. I didn't think it had any Freon in it because the compressor's locked up, and I pulled a rookie move and got a Freon shower. I tested it at the high side just to see if it had anything, and all I heard was air. Yeah. Pulled the tin off the compressor and got sprayed. Not a good thing. Happens, sucks, whatever. My back's hurting pretty bad because I'm still banged up from this wreck, but we do what we got to do around here. So swaps out. We're going to get this car to Turk. Turk's going to start stripping it down and do his thing, cleaning and sanding and whatever else he needs to do. And then we'll pick back up with some of the preparation of the engine bay, stripping it more. We're going to try to get this thing step by step on everything. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty long playlist. I would guess probably around 8 to 10 videos we'll do. The whole process, from obviously pulling the engine out to stripping the bay, prepping it for paint, painting the bay, doing the wire tuck, installing pulling the swap out of the RSX, installing the swap, wiring, AC, just everything. We're going to get it all on video. We're going to start going back hard on YouTube. I do too much cool stuff not to get it on video. I do hate that I didn't take any video of this setup. This particular car has been around for a long time. Good buddy of mine, Nick, from Fayetteville. This is a complete engine built by Morrison Built, transmission built by Morrison Built, installed by Morrison Built, everything. Suspension, wiring, fuel system, engine, transmission. I mean, this is a fully done Morrison Built car. This came in as a roller with stock suspension, basically. So I think some eBay coilovers. We did all new lowers, uppers, tie rods, ball joints. The rear's getting redone, dropping the fuel cell, putting a fuel cell up front. Just a teaser on this. I'm going to start to try to pick up some video on this of the fuel system, our budget fuel system that I offer for race cars. It's a 1.78 gallon fuel cell that's up front. So I'll get a video of that, and then obviously the dyno and tuning process, but I did not record much of this. This is kind of just a teaser I'm going to throw in. But yeah, I wish I did get this whole process. But I got to run to the house. I got to lock up shop. The guy that's getting the swap should be coming to get it either this week sometime or weekend. We'll figure all that out. And then next part you'll see is going to be getting this over to Turk's house and then him starting the process. I'm going to see if he can document a little bit for me and then send me the videos, because I'm not going to be at his house all the time, because he's going to do a lot of this meticulous stuff at his house, because he is very, very meticulous, OCD very high. So this is something he's going to love to enjoy to do, because he is just, he puts it in his head, he wants it done a certain way, and he's going to do it. Much props to him. So like I said, man, this is probably going to be the last view you see it of looking like this, because once he gets it, it's go time. This whole front end's going to come off. He's going to start prepping. He's going to start doing everything in the engine bay, once we're done with everything in the engine bay, then it will go to paint and body, and then she'll be finished. So I'm going to try to get him to document as much of the restore on this car as possible. She is pretty clean for the most part. I'm pretty sure I got a video of it already. I mean, she's pretty much all stock. But yeah, this thing's going to transform pretty awesome. And then this car is next on the channel for a K-swap. Fully stock 95 CX. So we'll get that one in a playlist coming soon. Got the EK project loaded up. Swap is out. It's going home with Turk so he can start prepping the bay. He's gonna do everything himself. He's gonna strip it down, replace all the suspension components himself, basically get the chassis ready as far as the bay ready, and then all miscellaneous suspension stuff that he wants to do. And then once the bay is done, then we can prep to put the engine in. So we're gonna take the car to his house, drop it off, and then we're gonna pick up the donor car, the donor swap car. So video of that coming up. Turkey excited?
Hell yeah. Stay tuned. This car is gonna be one of a kind. I can promise y'all that.
Morrison built, Aslan.
We end it.
You know the one. So yeah, he's gonna pull off and we're gonna go to his house.
Let me move this shit up.
Ain't no way. You gonna make us wait? He's gonna make us wait. We gotta move this out the way. This is the donor. This is the car that he's pulling the swap, or I'll be pulling the swap out of. What's under it? What's under it? The beast, he said. The bumper is not attached, right? Uh-oh. Here is the donor. That's all we care about right here, obviously. The rest of the car, as you can see, it's not in horrible shape. I mean, we really could have probably saved this car, but fuck that. That's what we want. We want that heart. So here we have a 2006 RSX Type S. Mileage was 125. So she's still pretty low. Motor runs like a top. Transmission feels great. I've already driven it. The car has a couple goodies on it, which we will be selling parts off of this car. If anybody needs RSX parts, there's suspension on the car. There's obviously we got wheels. There's some interior pieces. Obviously body panels, doors. I mean, this car will be parted out. He has no need for majority of the parts in here, obviously, because he's just needs the motor transmission, because that's what he's swapping in. But there's an exhaust on the car. I believe it's a Buddy Club. Still has a silencer in it. Obviously tail lights are in great condition, bumper. So if you guys need any RSX Type S parts, this is a 2006, let me know. ECU obviously will be for sale because we can't use that. Engine harness, we can't use that. That'll be for sale. The seats are in pretty okay condition. Fires right up. So we're gonna go ahead and get this out the way. Get the EK off the trailer, get the EK in this spot. He's gonna start doing his thing with it. But yeah, this is the donor. Super excited. We're gonna change up the intake manifold. I think if I can talk him into it, we'll we can find an RBC, or if maybe we can throw like a Skunk 2 or something on it. That'd be cool to put on there, look a lot better. But he's got all his swap components pretty much. This will be going to Morrison Built Performance for me to pull this thing. I'm gonna make him help me do this one though. But I need help with getting the subframe down. There she is. We're gonna go ahead and get this out the way, get the EK off the trailer, and we'll get back with y'all. We got Mini Boy in the house.
Doing?
It's perfect. Yeah, you just gotta go in. You gotta go hard. As I look at you, I'll keep the fucking car slam.
This is a new swap. We're already done. It's ready to go. You heard that? That was VTEC. Mini Boy swap. Car's here. It's time for him to start doing his thing. Getting this thing ready for the paint. Which, comment in the comment section of what color you guys think he's gonna go with. Full color change. I'll give you that hint.
Jams and all.
Everything. Glass is coming out. This whole car's getting it's getting revived. He's saving a Honda. And like I told you on the video before, this car was purchased by my brother originally, and it stayed around in town for, dude, I don't know, 7 years. So yeah, it's cool to see it go to Turk and him revive it. So yeah, here it is. R6 on the trailer, back to Morrison Built. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video on social media so we can get our subs up. I'm gonna get back to this religiously, guys, because like I said, I do a lot of cool stuff. I want to start documenting it and sharing it with you guys, build processes, tuning, our events, everything. So why not record us doing some cool stuff and let you enjoy it. Thanks, guys.